In the previous video, we understood about subnetworking, but however, when we divide the subnetwork with equal number of hosts, it basically leads to inefficient usage of the IP addresses. So the solution to it is using variable length subnet masking, which allows a different mask for each of the subnet, thereby IP addresses are efficiently used. So let us take the same previous example wherein network A must support 14 hosts, network B must support 28 hosts, network C with 2 hosts, and network D with 7, network E with 28 hosts. Now what we will do is, since network A requires 14 hosts, it is just sufficient for me to use 4 bits, right? Because 2 to the power of 4 is 16, minus 2 will give me 14 hosts. So remaining, I just keep it as network addresses only. So what are the remaining number of bits? 28 bits. So I keep the subnet mask as 255.255.255.240, which is nothing but /28. Hope you all are able to follow this, right? Again, I need to consider power of 2 only. 28 host I need. So nearest power of 2 is 2 to the power of 32, right? Now how do I get 32? By using 5 bits. That is 2 to the power of 5 is 32, right? So if I use 5 bits to represent the number of hosts, how many bits will I be left in the network part? I'll be left with 27 bits. So the corresponding subnet mask will be 255.255.255.224. Okay. Now I just need 2 hosts. So 2 to the power of 2 is 4. See, now I cannot use only 1 bit, because if I use 1 bit, I need minimum 2 addresses to represent the network address and the broadcast address. So 1 bit will not be useful to me. I need minimum of 2 bits. So if I use 2 bits to represent the host, remaining 30 bits will represent my network. So what will be the corresponding subnet mask? It will be 255.255.255.252. Okay. Network D requires 28 hosts. It requires 7 hosts. Okay. So how many bits do I need? 3 bits. It will not be sufficient to me. I need to use 4 bits. Okay. If I use again 3 bits, it will be 8. But 2 addresses, I cannot use it. So it will be 4 bits. So how many bits will I be left out in the network part? 28 bits. Similarly, for 28 hosts, I need 5 bits. The remaining bits in the network part is 27. The corresponding mask will be 255.255.255.224. This is how we configure the network with different subnet requirements. See, in our college also, we have this virtual LANs which are configured with VLSM concept only, mainly because each of the departments, the requirement is different. Ours is computer science department, which is a large department, and we require many addresses. Okay, when compared to a smaller departments like biotechnology or your what do you tell, physics department or chemistry department, which the requirements is pretty less over there. Okay, this is an alternative configuration wherein assign the subnets which require the largest number of hosts first, that is network B and network E, which the requirements is more, that is we need 28 addresses. So we'll have something like this. So 204.15.5.0 will be the network address for subnetwork B. Here the host ranges from 1 to 30. It is shown over here. So we have the network address, the first host address, and this will be the last host address. Okay, the broadcast address for this will be 204.15.5. all ones. Just check out what it comes out to be, right? Network E, here I need to make this bit as 1, 0, 0. Here if you observe, I've used 3 bits to represent the subnetwork and 5 bits to represent the host. So here I'll use one more bit from here So this comes out to be 204.15.5.32 will be the network address for this. Okay, and the last host address will be 204.15.5.5. So this will be your last host address 62, right? For network A, D and C, we require a fewer number of hosts, so accordingly you have to write it. So network C, it just requires 2 addresses, so this will be last configured subnetwork, right? So again, make sure you solve such example manually, right? This is one more concept which is called as classless inter-domain routing, wherein I just do not consider which class an IP address belong to. I make sure the requirements are satisfied by the requester. This is what is being followed now. We are nowhere going with any of the classes of the IP addresses, as we were discussing before. This address belong to this class, this will be the natural mask, and we have these many bits for the network part, these many bits for the host part. Those things will not be there. The requirements comes in, and I go on giving the IP addresses. This is what is done today. Okay, your your internet service provider, they purchase bulk of IP addresses from ICANN, that is the distributor for IP addresses, by paying him a lump sum amount of money, and further they in their own domain they distribute these addresses to the customers. Understanding my point? You can just Google out the IP addresses of BSNL, IP address of Airtel, IP address of Vodafone, which are major internet service provider. They purchase the IP addresses. Okay, and how do they purchase? By giving their requirements. Okay. Okay. Now we'll just see with a small example over here. So if a site tells it needs 2000 addresses and it has been given a block of 2048 address on 2048 byte boundary, every router has a table consisting of IP address, subnet mask, and outgoing line. This is what every router has. Okay, it has the IP addresses, it has a subnet mask, and it has outgoing line. Now why subnet mask? Because this will give the router the information whether the destination is within its own network, or it is into some other network to which it has to be forwarded to. So when a packet comes in, its destination address is first extracted, then the routing table is scanned entry by entry, masking the destination address and comparing it to the table entry looking for a match. So it is possible that multiple entries with a different subnet mask length might match, in which case the longest mask is used to send the packet to appropriate destination. So if there is a match for /20 and /24, /24 entry is used, because there might be probability that within this network there might be other subnetwork to which it has to be sent to, right? Okay. Take an example. The address is available at starting 194.24.0.0. So this is what is the IP address available with a distributor. Now Cambridge University, it needs 2048 addresses, total IP addresses, and it is assigned the addresses from 194.24.0. This is the total number of hosts. So if total number of hosts is 2048, so how many bits do I need? 2 to the power of 11. So 11 bits will be gone from the host part. Okay, so what will be the subnet mask for this? It will be /21 8 816 21, right? So 11 bits are used for the host part. So the address starts from 194.24.0.1 to 194.24.7.254, right? Okay. Next, the Oxford University asks for 4096 addresses. So if 4096 address means I need 12 host bits. Correct? So I need 12 host bits. So what will I do? These addresses are already been gone. So I'll start the next address from 194.24.16. So if you just observe, it should be power of 2. I did not make use of 8. Okay, but in fact I just made use of 16 over here, because here if you observe, there is a we call this as a byte boundary, or specifically a nibble boundary. Okay, so I'll start from this nibble, that is 1 followed by zeros, and the last host address, which is the required thing. So it will be till 194.24.31.254. So what will be the subnet mask for this? It will be 16 plus 16 plus 8 plus 8, 16. So these 4 bits are fixed for all the nodes, so it will be 20. Alright. Now one more small university just asks for 1024 addresses, and here we make use of that smaller number of allocating the smallest addresses. So it is something like this. So 194.24.8. So how many bits do I need? Just 10 bits. So it will be till 194.24.11.255. So the subnet mask will be 22. Go through this example. See here, if you just observe, I have used the subnetwork bits from rightmost bits. You can as well start from here. There is no problem with this. Okay. This is one more concept, that is NAT. We'll discuss this in our next video.